Texas and the United Spirit Arena as Phillips 66 presents Big 12 basketball. And today, it's the Red Raiders of Texas Tech hosting the 6th-ranked Jayhawks of Kansas. Hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with Coach Z, Rich Zavosik. And Coach, certainly there's so much experience on this Jayhawk team. They're not ranked 6th in the country by accident. As we think about our one-on-one today, we talk about the experience and then the youth of Texas Tech.
Well, Kansas has 4 seniors, 3 of which are 5th-year senior guys, and it's helped them to become the leaders in the Big 12 in assist-to-turnover ratio. Texas Tech, on the other hand, 289th out of 347 in level of experience. But they do have youthful exuberance. They lead the Big 12 in steals.
So we'll see what happens here today. And here is that experienced lineup of the Jayhawks. You see the seniors in Elijah Johnson, Travis Relaford, Kevin Young, and Jeff Withey. 3 of those 4 seniors are 5th-year seniors, and of course the outstanding freshman in Ben McLemore. Now for Texas Tech, Dusty Hannas is a good-looking freshman as far as his shot-making ability. He is shooting 44% from three-point range. Josh Gray, another freshman. He is doing a great job at the point. And then, of course, you have the rest of the Red Raiders. The head coach, the interim head coach of the Red Raiders is Chris Walker. And my goodness, what a job he has done with this program at 8-5 on the year, and no one in the country, in my opinion, does a better job than the guy that he will be facing today, Bill Self. In his 10th year with the Jayhawks, 282 wins already just with Kansas, 489 in his career. It's the Jayhawks who have the ball first in their road blue uniforms, and Texas Tech in their home gray. Jayhawks look inside, nothing there. Swing it around, Johnson. Relaford, back to Johnson. They're really clogging up the middle. Young's got it. That's a shot the Red Raiders are willing to give up, and if Young can do that, look out.
That's a good sign for the Jayhawks. You want to make Kevin Young shoot the ball. Now, the key for Tech is they got to take their time on the offensive end. Use their offense as a weapon for their defense.
What do you mean by that?
You want to try and shorten the game. When you have less talent, you don't want to play a 40-minute game. You want to play about a 24-minute game. So try and take 25, 30 seconds off of each possession.
They've done it already in this one. The shot clock is down to 5. Shot from the wing is blocked by McLemore, and that'll be a shot clock violation. And you know what? It's weird to say, but really not a bad possession for the Red Raiders.
Well, in that situation, if you're going to turn the ball over, it better be a dead ball turnover so that Kansas doesn't have an opportunity to get out and run the fast break.
Johnson gives it up for McLemore. Jayhawks are going to look today, Coach, to get McLemore some more touches offensively.
Well, you're going to see Tech try and pack it in and force a lot of jump shots. The one guy they will mark closely and try and prevent from catching the ball is McLemore.
And there's a push off by Young going for the rebound. He shoved Jordan Tolbert in the back. First foul on Young, first one of the game. This is Josh Gray bringing the ball up. Minimal pressure from Elijah Johnson. Not even looking at the basket yet. Shot clock at 13. And picked off by Young. And then he is fouled by Tolbert.
Foul number 32, Jordan Tolbert.
Here's a situation where you must have space on the offensive end. Young knows Tolbert's not a threat from the perimeter. He backs off. No space to make that post pass, and a steal.
Young, what an amazing story for KU.
Think about it. He averaged 10 points a game at Loyola Marymount. In all due respect, a lesser program, yet he comes here, and he is a vital cog for the Jayhawks.
Young with the ball now. Back out to Relaford. McLemore, three-pointer. That one's off, no good. He was perfect from three-point range the other night against Iowa State, 6 for 6. including a huge one at the end of regulation and then one to start overtime when the Jayhawks got by Iowa State 97-89. Tolbert. Boy, look at Withey just standing there hoping he takes a shot. And then a travel. So 3 possessions for the Red Raiders. They don't have a field goal attempt yet.
Credit that one to Jeff Withey. It's the fear of the shot blocker in the paint that caused the turnover.
Boy, Chris Walker has infused a lot of energy and enthusiasm into this program, and he's hoping they take the interim tag off. He's very hopeful that they'll make him the head coach permanently, but nothing has been decided yet. Here's a pickoff. Williams has got it and then swatted out by McLemore.
Dave, that's one of the things Texas Tech does well. They lead the Big 12 in steals, 9.5 a game. Great on-ball defense, but a good hustle play by McLemore to prevent the layup.
Two-pointer, that's Kravich, Dayon Kravich from London, Ontario, by way of York University in Canada. Kravich sat out last year. Pace of this game, certainly exactly where the Red Raiders want it so far, Coach.
Well, the key is if they can make some open jump shots. If Kravich can step up to that high post area, then Kansas is going to have to make a decision. Do they keep Jeff Withey by the basket, or do you bring him out to challenge the shot?
Johnson, three-pointer, got it. Elijah Johnson starting to pick up the pace offensively. In fact, he's been in double figures in 3 of the last 4 games. Kravich again, this time he turns down the shot, trying to pull Withey away from that basket.
You've got to be careful. Even though you made your last one, you don't want to start shooting quick.
I'm going to whistle and a pushing foul on Withey. Withey does not foul very often.
Dave, he doesn't foul because he has great feet. He moves his feet as well as any post player in the country and better than most guards.
Well, those, I don't know what size they are.
Those
maybe
are big
16,
dogs
17, but
around.
he moves them well, doesn't he? A lot of people credit that volleyball experience growing up on the beaches of California, and certainly that's a part of it. But he's just extremely athletic, and in his shot blocking ability, a lot of times it comes off the weak side. He blocks shots of the guys he's guarding. He doesn't overblock, though, and that's one of the things Coach Self likes about it.
He's got a very high shot blocking IQ. He's not one of those guys who just wants to swat it into row Z. He understands it's about keeping it in play and gaining a possession.
Johnson working off a pick, and that one almost picked off. Jayhawks recover. There's Relaford.
Relaford at his best in a broken play, getting to the rim.
Relaford also bird dogging Dusty Hanna's, not letting him have any free room at all. Crockett off that bench. Best 6th man in the country, and a good tip home by Kravich. And that one out of bounds. Bad pass from Withey. Relaford can't handle it. And Coach Self not real happy about the first 4.5 minutes of this contest. Thrilled with that shot by Relaford, however. And we're back after this from our friends at Phillips 66.
Basket Pong is back. Just fill up, grab a game card, and go online for a chance to shoot for 66 grand or hundreds of other prizes.
Today's Big 12 Network game is brought to you by Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. By USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of the military veterans and their families. By Wendy's, new right price, right size menu with big taste you can't find anywhere else. And by Motel 6, the official economy lodging partner of Big 12 fans everywhere. The fear in Lubbock was they'd have nothing to cheer about, but that hasn't been the case so far. Texas Tech within one because of that man, Dayon Kravich. He has all 6 of their points so far.
The tempo is what Tech wants right now. The game cannot be in the 70s for them to win. It must be in the 50s, and they have done an excellent job thus far of taking time off the shot clock before a shot attempt.
Kravich looking inside, nothing there. Again, they're pulling Withy way away from the basket. Bounce pass is stolen by Perry Ellis. Boy, a good jump on the pass by Ellis. Now Tharp to Withy, and he's fouled by Hannas.
You want your post player to run the floor. Great play by Perry Ellis to start it. But here's what I'm talking about. A great point guard knows when his postmen run the floor, and they reward it. Tharp doing an excellent job.
You're talking about the great feat of Jeff Withy. How about that 7-footer, first one down the court?
Holy cow. He's won a few sprints in his day. There's no question about that.
Well, you see what he is doing as far as shot blocking ability. In fact, that 5.1 blocks per game average would lead many teams. He's also a good free throw shooter. Started off slowly, but he's near 70% from the line. And the Jayhawks with a 3-point advantage. With Rich Savosik, I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to have you courtside with us here in Lubbock, Texas. Tolbert right over Withy. Took it right at the big fella.
Great use of the left hand.
And then a turnover by the Jayhawks. That's a couple of sloppy turnovers for KU.
David, it's a fine line between running shot clock and getting too cautious or hesitant. Great attack of the rim by Tolbert after they moved the ball side to side and shifted the defense.
Tolbert playing with a heavy heart. He lost his father only 40 years of age about a month ago, and it's been very difficult for him emotionally over the last month. They're hoping that at some point the grief-stricken Jordan Tolbert will return to form that he had a year ago.
Tech has done an excellent job of shifting the defense, opening up driving lanes.
Williams with a nice shot. Jamal Williams. Junior transfer from Lakeland College out of Brooklyn, New York. First lead of the game for the Red Raiders. Withy, and he's fouled on the play.
You can see as they shift it side to side. Now a little cross and catches Relaford off, or excuse me, Tharp off balance, knocks it down.
Withy going back to the line again. The foul there was on Tolbert too, and that's bad news for the Red Raiders because he's picked up his second. So Tolbert forced to go over to the bench for Texas Tech.
Interesting philosophy. Some coaches, you get 2 in the first half, you take it out, take them out. Some coaches will gamble a little.
What did you do?
You know, it depended on how good a player he was. If we really needed him in a game like this, I might let him go a little bit and trust him and have a little confidence not to pick up that third. But there is a big danger, and you're only down 1 right now.
You have to know the player, too. I mean, some guys are just prone to foul. Other guys can play without fouling.
Absolutely. And Tolbert's game is go hard to the offensive glass where you tend to pick up some fouls.
For whatever reason, Kravich was not expecting that pass. Now Tharp off the glass. No. Out of bounds. Last touch by Ellis. sloppy game so far. A lot of turnovers. In fact, 4 for Texas Tech, 3 for Bill Self's Jayhawks, and a couple of those totally unforced. And Jeff Withey will get his first breather over there, talking with Norm Roberts, former head coach at St. John's, back with Bill Self for the second time. That's an illegal screen set by Kravich and a foul on Dayon Kravich. That's his first. Excuse me, that's his second. So now you got the big guys for the Red Raiders in foul trouble, 2 on Kravich.
Now, good scouting report, paying attention to detail. Tharp read it, and he jumps through the closing door before the doors close on. That is attention to detail by Nadir Tharp.
And now with Kravich on the sideline, their leading scorer with 6 points, and also their tallest player, you would expect Kansas to try to attack the glass. And a travel on the part of Elijah Johnson. Thought he was bumped by Kadir Tapsoba.
Right on cue, Dave. You said attack the glass, and that's where he was going.
5 team fouls on the Red Raiders already this half. Pass goes inside, and there's a holding call first. This one called against Perry Ellis. That'll be the 3rd team foul on KU. Perry Ellis, he's really the X factor for this Jayhawk team. They've been great even without getting great play from Ellis so far, but if he can all of a sudden live up to the potential that he has as being a McDonald's All-American and a 4-time player of the year in the state of Kansas, look out. I mean, Kansas could be almost untouchable.
He is the X factor, as you say, because he's capable of stepping out and making that 15-foot jumper.
Tech again patient. This is Ty Nurse with the ball with 8 to shoot it. And a long 3-pointer. And that foul's called on Elijah Johnson, trying to box out on the rebound. A 1-point Jayhawk lead. Take a look at some of our potential finalists for our Capital One Cup Impact Performance of the Week, and Jeff Withey had yet another double-double.
He gets it done in so many different ways that he impacts the game. Offensively, defensively, he can steal the ball besides blocking shots.
Well, Withey, the total package for the Jayhawks, and very tough inside for KU. He had 15 points and 12 rebounds against the Cyclones. Hey, log on to CapitalOneCup.com to vote for this week's Impact Performance. So you look at Jeff Withey and what he did against the Cyclones, who, by the way, just walloped Texas 82-62 to move the Cyclones to 1-1 on the year. And I think Fred Hoiberg's team has gotten the attention of everyone in the Big 12 with their performance Wednesday night, coupled with a 20-point win today against the Longhorns.
So they lost a number of seniors last year. Withey, don't bring that in here.
Here's Tharp. And McLemore picks up the loose change. So all the stars are shining. Withey with a block, McLemore with a jam.
First time tonight that Kansas turned defense into offense.
Seahawks look like they've picked up the intensity offensively. Relaford ahead of the pack. Timeout for Chris Walker. He can feel the run coming, and he has to call timeout.
You have
30-second timeout.
You have to try and thwart the momentum somehow. And you can see Jeff Withey coming over from the weak side. Great timing. Ignites the fast break. And how about a hustle play by McLemore? Not assuming that the shot's going to be made. He runs the floor, gets the offensive rebound. Jeff Withey impacts the game like Anthony Davis did a year ago for Kentucky when they won it all. Jeff Withey changes teams' offensive schemes because of his ability to block shots and change shots, which are equally as important.
He just changes the way you go about it. I mean, because Kansas can really funnel everything into the paint, and then there he is.
Well, he gives confidence to the perimeter players to pressure the ball as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Because they know if they get beat, they get, as you used to call Cole Aldridge, the long arm of the law in Jeff Withey in the paint now for Kansas.
Best shot blocker you've seen? Withey?
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
And Young has another steal. Jayhawks looking to go again. Tharp, numbers weren't there, pulls it out. Relaford will go to the line after he's bumped by Nurse.
Third straight turnover or defensive stop for Kansas after the timeout. And Kevin Young moving his feet to get on top of the post.
Different energy from KU's in the last couple of minutes. They're on a 6-0 run right now.
Makes you wonder what was said in that huddle during a timeout by Coach Self, because they have energized it and created offense with their defense.
Get the sense it was a one-way conversation.
There was no discussion.
Relaford, good free throw shooter, 86% on the year. Well, he's just been on a tear, hasn't he? Last 5 games, Relaford 79% from the field, 69% from three-point land, and those 5 steals for the Jayhawks are really adding up. Red Raiders not good with the ball. They've turned it over. They have more turnovers than assists this year.
But right now they're in the danger zone. You can't get away from your game plan of trying to run shot clock, even though you're down 7 points. You got to stick with it, try and get a good shot.
Robinson, is that a good shot? And it is, because it went, and there was 4 on the shot clock.
It's perfect timing. You've got one of your better shooters taking the ball, taking a shot, although it was challenged, but it was done at the right point in the possession.
Well, nothing would indicate that he's one of your better shooters, except for that form, because statistically, 4 of 27 going into that shot from three-point range.
You know how I judge it? I watched Coach Walker on the side. There was no angst in his face when he took the shot, so he obviously has some confidence in it. As he told us earlier, you know, he likes when Ty Nurse shoots the ball, but Ty Nurse has not shot it very well. But that's part of the problem. It hasn't been on the defensive end. It's been they haven't been able to score on the offensive end.
What a throw for Dalen Robinson as he's able to hit this 3. Kid grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, went to Moberly Area Community College, and then they're looking to see, is this a 2 or a 3? Is that foot on the line? Originally called a 3 out on the court. And now it looks like Higgins is pointing that the toe was on the line, so this could very well be a 2, not a 3. When you looked at that replay, Higgins definitely was pointing at the foot, and he did not indicate that was a 3-point play.
It looks like his foot is on the line, at least from this angle.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Dalen Robinson, a Kansas City product. Northeast High School was a Dorena Award winner, is the best player in Kansas City his senior year.
John Higgins got it right both times, both live and then on replay. So that's a 2-point shot.
He's like Memorex.
5-point Jayhawk lead, nearing the halfway mark of the first half. Poked away. Nurse got a hand on that one, knocked it out. Kind of a lazy pass from Elijah Johnson.
And a poor job of rubbing your defensive man off this screen, but a good job by Ty Nurse locking and trailing.
McLemore only taken 2 shots so far. Withey, look at the double coverage on him. That's why the pass didn't go in there. Now McLemore, crossover dribble, and a pushing foul. This will send McLemore to the line because Kansas is in the bonus. Foul is on Todrick Gotcher. That's his first. McLemore, 89% free throw shooter. Kid averaging almost 17 points a game now. coming off that career high 33 against the Cyclones. And he'll get the bonus here. In that game, he went 6 of 6 from three-point land, 10 of 12 overall. And that kind of left Coach Self scratching his head a little bit, saying, if a guy gets 33 points on only 12 shots, maybe we need to get him some more shots.
Well, now it becomes even tougher because he becomes the marked man. And now you don't help off him. So it's going to be up to his teammates to get him open and help him with a couple of screens.
Crockett hasn't done much in this game. Pulls up. That's off no good. And they're going to get Withy for pushing off inside on Tolbert. And that'll be the second on Withy. Or is that the first? Nope. They earlier took a foul away from him and gave it to someone else. First foul on Withy here.
Good hustle play. Created space by Tolbert. Little rebounding niche. Coach Walker's got some confidence. Got him back in the game with 2 fouls.
5 team fouls on KU this half. That was the first on Withy. Tolbert's back in there, and he's in there too long as far as the paint is concerned. 3-second call against Jordan Tolbert. This is that point of the game where Chris Walker is kind of rolling the dice a little bit, putting Tolbert back in, playing with 2 fouls, but he doesn't want to see this game get out of hand.
Well, he certainly doesn't. Now he knows on a defensive end, he's more of a risk to pick up that 3rd foul, so he wisely substitutes for him, trying to get him to that 8-minute timeout.
McLemore, good pass inside. Young. Jayhawks swinging around, top of the key. Johnson, no. Young trying to keep it alive, but he tips it to Nurse. Crockett, off balance shot, no good. Somehow, what a tip home. Wow, what a play by Gocher. So a little run here by Texas Tech, back within 5, and a travel by Johnson. That'll be the 5th turnover on KU.
This is great hustle play by Gocher, coming from underneath, and as we talked about Withy, the long arm of the law, how about Texas Tech and Gocher with the long arm on the offensive rebound? One of the things that Texas Tech has done well thus far is they have gone to the offensive glass and created some shot opportunities and some baskets, just as Iowa State did on Wednesday.
Tough shot there for Tolbert. Now a tie-up, and the possession arrow will give the ball back to the Red Raiders. Gocher has really come in off that bench and given him a lift. He's not a guy that plays very much, but he is coming off his best game against TCU when he scored 14 points. Illegal pick. That's the second one of the game for the Red Raiders. This one is called on Crockett, and that's his first foul.
A little extra hip action. Good call by the official, but a lot of time, Dave, that's not the screener's fault. That's the cutter's fault. He's got to come tighter off that screen so that Crockett doesn't make that extra move.
Yeah, Crockett just stuck that right foot out there and created the contact. 10 turnovers already for the Red Raiders. McLemore comes flying in, and he's fouled. That'll be the 3rd on Tolbert. Oh, no, they called Gocher instead. That's actually a break for the Red Raiders, but it is 2 on Gocher.
Shooting 2.
Good call by the official. Gocher with the late grab after he got beat.
McLemore coaxes home the free throw.
Number 23, Jamal Williams, and number 20, Tyler Gocher, for the Jayhawks. Number 31, Trailer for Jeff Whitty.
Again, McLemore, the game they're referring to by that graphic in '85, Danny Manning had 35 points. That's the freshman record. And if you're wondering, well, Wilt Chamberlain certainly had more than that as a freshman. No, he didn't, because he didn't play as a freshman.
They weren't allowed to play back then. It's a good possibility he might have had more than 35.
Very good possibility. Three-pointer. Jamal Williams.
Texas Tech is playing with a lot of confidence now, and the longer that they keep it close, the more confidence they're going to gain.
McLemore, three-pointer, no. Crockett did a good job fending off. Ellis going for that rebound.
Great decision by Robinson. You don't want to get into a running game with Kansas. Stick to the game plan. Excellent decision pulling it back out.
Ellis got a hand on that one. Texas Tech lucky to get it back. Shot clock doesn't reset. It's at 10. Nurse, well, he gave it up, expecting Tolbert to be somewhere else. Bad pass by Nurse. Jamari Traylor is in now for the Jayhawks. That's Ellis. Takes it strong in there. And he creates the contact. Jay Crockett picks up the foul, and that's his second. So the Jayhawks having a little trouble pulling away from the Red Raiders. And we're back after this from our friends at Phillips 66.
From Studio 66, it's Bedlam, the Sooners and Cowboys. Check out Buddy Hield, one of the talented freshman guards for the Sooners, knocking down the three. Right now, Sooners lead it by 5 with 11:47 to go. Dave and Rich.
All right, thanks a lot, Doug. Look forward to your halftime report with Rich Zavosik. I'm Dave Armstrong, courtside here at the United Spirit Arena in Lubbock, Texas, where the Jayhawks start off 1-0 with that overtime win. Baylor and Kansas State getting a jump on the conference. Both 2-0 to start the year. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, as we mentioned, just getting going. And you look at all those teams, it's going to be tough now for look at Texas losing today to drop to 0-3 in conference play.
It's a tough one for Texas. They lose to West Virginia after making a 3 at the buzzer, and then they lose in overtime. But a huge win for Kansas State on the road at West Virginia.
Yeah, it's 2 losses for West Virginia at home now. 1 to Oklahoma and 1 today to Kansas State. Perry Ellis at the line. Talking to Coach Self last night, and he was saying that this kid's starting to come on. He's really getting the signs that he's starting to gain more confidence, and he couldn't stress more the importance of having Perry Ellis as a real threat inside at that 4 position.
Well, the upside of this team relies on his development. When you have seniors who are playing to their potential, now you have another freshman who can be an impact like McLemore. Ellis certainly can be.
Gray fires it in there. Oh, nice little ball fake, wasn't it? By Tapsoba.
It's different in that lane when Whitty is on the bench.
Ellis, quick step. Blocked from behind. Traylor keeps it alive. Tharp turns down a 3. McLemore is fouled. Williams Jr. doesn't like the call, but he's whistled for the foul, and that will send McLemore back to the line again.
Off the dribble. That's an easy call for the official.
Yeah.
You put both hands on the offensive guy, it's an automatic.
First foul on Jamal Williams. So here's McLemore, where he's doing most of his damage at the line so far today. Kansas in the double bonus.
And for the Red Raiders, number 11, Dale Kravitz. For number 12,
checking back in, playing with 2 fouls now. Kravitz, he's been out for a while. Tapsoba from Africa will be back on the bench again. McLemore's hit all of his free throws, and the Jayhawks extend their lead to 5.
Dave, we're 14 minutes in, and it is going to the script as it was written by Chris Walker. The pace is slow, with the exception of where you had 3 straight possessions where Kansas was able to get things in transition, it's become a half-court game.
Pass thrown away. Traylor's got it. Johnson looking to run if they can. Texas Tech doing a good job in transition defense, though. Traylor, no. Gets it back. That won't go. And there's Kravich with the rebound. Coach Self calls those shots bunnies, and the Jayhawks have missed a few.
Oh, that bunny hopped right out.
Ooh, almost a steal there by Johnson. Switch out top. Kravich doing some real hard work on the glass. Here comes Tharp. 2-on-2. Tharp. Kravich. Boy, he is a workman on the glass.
Texas Tech has been the aggressor on the offensive glass and has done an excellent job. 8 offensive rebounds tonight. If you remember back to Wednesday, Iowa State had 13 offensive rebounds. Tech doing the same thing in the first half.
Can you believe that rebounding edge? Look at that, Coach. 13-5, Texas Tech.
They are just quicker to the basketball right now.
Jayhawks normally have a +6 rebound edge. Shot clock violation. And as Coach Walker looks out, that's okay. That's all right. I mean, you've got to be aware when it's under 5, put the shot up instead of passing inside. Always the encourager, Chris Walker.
I think in a previous life, he was a ordained minister. The way he preaches, he's always preaching and teaching these guys, and they're following his instructions thus far.
Withy. I think the word that comes to mind is engaging. When you discuss Chris Walker, he is certainly all of that. And right now, he has his Red Raiders believing a 5-point lead for KU.
Headed out of town for those big away games? Then book a clean, comfortable room for the lowest price of any national chain at Motel 6. That's what you call a classic layup. Count it. We'll leave the light on for you. Official economy lodging partner of the Big 12.
We're making the original Whataburger, #1.
This is what I started on 50 years ago.
The original Whataburger, that's the thing that got everyone. We really have a following.
I have a lot of customers come through. Their grandparents came through. It's a tradition.
It's still the same. It's the same as it was when I was a bartender. That's why I always come back.
I think it's the details that make the burger what it is. The pride that goes into it. It's something special that you don't find anywhere else. It represents everything we are.
Man, these ultimate grilled cheese sandwiches are great,
no
huh?
No kidding. Who would have thought? A Philly steak grilled cheese?
BLT grilled cheese.
How about it? It's
amazing.
The grilled cheese upgraded.
That's right. It's business class of grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, moving on up to business class.
You get comfy if you do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna... Whoop, that's too much.
Go.
That's
there you go.
Bring it back
do
up
it
here.
Slow. Do it slow.
That's too far forward.
Upgrade your grilled cheese with the all-new Ultimate Grilled Cheese Sandwiches. This is how you Sonic.
Coming up in the Studio 66 halftime report, K-State wins on the road in Morgantown. All the highlights from Bedlam. And how about #1 Duke going down for the first time this year? All the highlights and scores. Back out to Dave and Coach Z. Guys.
Thanks a lot, Doug. Look forward to your report at halftime with Brendan Manzer. And Kansas State, they escaped, as you mentioned, with that 1-point victory in Morgantown. And Iowa State looked mighty good today against the Texas Longhorns, and the bedlam is going on in Norman right now, Coach.
Big game.
Well, you look at
Marcus Smart, Oklahoma State, one of the premier impact freshmen.
Here's Jeff Withy. He's got 1 block. All his points at the line so far in this game. And also you look at Ben McLemore, he has 8 points, 6 of those from the line. That's where the Jayhawks are really building this lead. Withy does not have a single rebound in this game.
which is hard to believe right now, that he doesn't have a defensive rebound, but part of it is been because he has come over and either blocked a shot or changed a shot, so he doesn't get an opportunity to rebound the ball. But they've done an excellent job of keeping him off the offensive glass.
Well, they've done a good job of rebounding the Red Raiders, but they've turned it over 13 times. However, the Jayhawks only 9 points off those 13 turnovers.
Dead ball turnovers don't hurt you as bad.
Good job by Gray to split the defense. Now Williams and McLemore got a piece of him. We'll send Williams to the line. And McLemore, he'll pick up the foul. That's his second. It's the 6th team foul on KU, and going to the line will be Williams. He's 8 of 10 from the line this year. As the name might suggest, Phillips 66, the proud sponsor of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. Both start with Phillips 66, both stand for performance. Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. Williams misses the first, chance at the second. Not many opportunities from the line for the Red Raiders in this game, and that's where the Jayhawks really have built their lead. 6-point advantage, under 3.5 to go first half.
What do you think Texas Tech has done? They've sagged in so much. Kansas hasn't been able to get the ball inside. They need to get the ball swinging from side to side to shift the defense to create an opening inside.
What they're trying to do. Johnson, that three-pointer is well off target. Good rebound by Kadir Tapsoba. Again, one and done a lot for the Jayhawks in this game. Bounce pass, Tapsoba caught it off his hip. Shot clock down to 7. Gray, Withy comes out on him. Gray takes it inside on Withy. Coach Self not happy, allowing Gray to go all the way from the top of the key to the rim.
Jeff Withy does a good job of hedging the screen and moving his feet, but there's no help side defense. We get a wingman who does an Olay move as Withy gets beat, and Kevin Young doesn't come over. You see him back off. He's got to understand, the only player on the court who can hurt you is the guy with the ball. Make them throw another pass.
Quick timeout by Coach Self. Not happy. Look at him looking at Kevin Young. How can you allow a guy to go all the way from the top of the key, dribble around our big guy Withy, and not be there defensively?
Well, think about how often Jeff Withy comes off his man and makes the block. Kevin Young has the same opportunity, and he backs away, and they get an easy basket. Good play by Josh Gray.
Is this a fair examination of the first half of KU, that outside of about a 3-minute period when they played with a lot of energy, they have not been able to do that for whatever reason against the Red Raiders here so far?
It is the offense that has taken the wind out of Kansas's sails, because you're making a team play defense for 30 seconds on every single possession, and it wears at you offensively.
Crockett.
The question for Chris Walker with this strategy was not could they stall Kansas, but could they score at the end of the shot clock? They've done it just enough to be effective thus far.
Gray pulls up. Hannes can't get loose. Fall-away jumper that's an air ball. That's the only look Hannes has had at the basket today. He's been smothered by Relaford. A little floater that won't go for Elijah Johnson. And again, one and done for KU.
Dave, I got to credit Texas Tech's offense for that shot. You get Kansas a little bit anxious on the offensive end because they've just played 35 seconds of defense on the other end.
I dare say there's not been a half this year where Kansas has been out-rebounded 16-6. 6 rebounds for the Jayhawks in one half.
And Tech coming off a game where they played poorly against Baylor. have reignited the passion.
Withey's first rebound, and then he's fouled. That's one where if you're Kadir Tepsoba, you've just got to let that go. Get him the rebound, but don't foul him and give him 3 points.
You're 94 feet from the basket. You have no chance at getting the rebound. Don't put a 70% free throw shooter on the line when his team is struggling to score.
All of his points, as you see, from the line today.
And for the Red Raiders, number 11, Kadir Tepsoba. Dan Kravitz for Kadir Tepsoba. And for the Jayhawks, number 31, from Murray Traylor.
Five-point advantage for KU. Pull-up jumper that's no good. Relaford's got the rebound. About a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Withey going to work, has it stripped. Here comes Crockett, who has not scored in the first half. And now Texas Tech will go for the final shot.
Dave, Coach Walker's got to be happy. He's been able to keep it close with Jordan Tolbert on the bench in foul trouble.
And a foul by Elijah Johnson with 5 seconds to go when Jamal Williams was shooting a three-pointer. Second foul on Johnson. Williams will get 3 free throws.
My pet peeve as a coach, fouling the jump shooter. Elijah Johnson a little bit careless in the closeout, drifts into the shooter. The official makes the call.
Coach Self right now probably preparing his halftime speech.
It could be a little bit heated because of sloppy plays like that. Think about it, Dave. In the last 3 possessions, Texas Tech has an opportunity to pick up 4 points off of fouling the jump shooter.
Well, the Jayhawks have shot 33% in the first half, 5 of 15, 1 of 4 from three-point range. Free throw shooting has kept them in the lead in this contest. However, Williams with these 3 free ones, he can pull them within 2 of the Red Raiders, and Chris Walker's got to be so excited. All the talk that he had before the game today, telling his team, we can do the impossible. If you listen to what we tell you, if you go off and do your own thing, you cannot accomplish the impossible. We can do it. And all of that positive energy rubbing off on the Red Raiders so far here today. 3 free runs for Williams, and it's a 2-point game. Jayhawks have to go the length of the court in 5 seconds.
Just important for Josh Gray here. Don't foul, but make Tharp dribble the ball up the floor.
And Tharp throws it away.
And for the Red Raiders, number 11, Dan Kravitz for number 12, Kadir Tepsoba.
Jayhawks will not defend the inbounds pass. Just let the first half come to a close and get into that locker room. So a first half in which the Red Raiders and Chris Walker walk off this court thinking, you know what, we can believe. We've got a chance. It is not impossible. The 6th-ranked Jayhawks have the lead, but it's only a 2-point advantage as we get you to Doug Bell in Studio 66.
Dave, thank you so much. That is a shocking score. Last 7 meetings between the two teams, Kansas has won by an average of almost 30 points per game. How shocked are you right now?
Well, you and I sat here, and I think a lot of people were watching that first half and expected Kansas at some point to put on a run. But credit the Red Raiders, a terrific job defensively. What they've done on the glass, I think, is the most surprising. A +8 advantage on a bigger, more athletic, more talented Kansas basketball team. And they're through the first 20 minutes with a chance to win. Now can they go and back it up the second half? Because you know Bill Self's going to go in and give the Jayhawks a do-better talk and they'll come out with a lot of fire in the second half. But Tech's playing great right now.
Yeah, and so is Kansas State. Winning today in our first game on the Big 12 Network. Taking on West Virginia. Kansas State looking for their 8th consecutive victory and stay undefeated in conference play. Will Spradling had the ball poked loose. Terry Henderson to Gary Brown. West Virginia trails by 3 at the half. And then you kind of sense that maybe the Mountaineers would get it going. Jabari Hines to Eric Murray. West Virginia trails by 1. But Brendan, in the end here, this was big. Kansas State by 1. And here comes the ball. Back for West Virginia. And inside, rejected by Shane Southwell. What a win for Kansas State.
It was. Tremendous road win. Had the week off after beating Oklahoma State last week. They stay undefeated in the league.
Texas against Iowa State. Rick Barnes and the mayor, Fred Hoiberg. Corey Lucius finds Chris Babb wide open. Iowa State takes more threes than anybody else, hits more threes than anybody else. Only team in the country to score over 70 points in every game this year. Julian Lewis knocks it down. But Texas just didn't have enough firepower today.
Iowa State so efficient on the offensive end. They can score in several spots. 4 players in double figures. 11 threes total on the day. 18 assists on 25 makes. You see how they move the ball in a great way, Doug.
Sheldon McClellan only played 1 minute for Texas. Had a bad ankle. And Texas goes 0-3 for the first time ever under Rick Barnes. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. It's bedlam. Oklahoma looking to start 2-0 in the Big 12 for the first time since 08-09. Jalen Hornbeek knocks it down. Oklahoma up by 14. That was their biggest lead. And inside it goes Marcus Smart and company. And Smart is so impressive. And, you know, Oklahoma State kind of hanging around, Brendan.
Yeah, they have. And they could have folded the tents. But Oklahoma came out of the gate. They controlled this game for the most part. Still up 8, as you see at this point. A lot of game left. But Oklahoma, like I said, I thought they came out with a lot of fire. Oklahoma State did not play well early in the game. And it's tough coming from down that far behind trying to get into the basketball game. But Oklahoma State, Marcus Smart's played with a little bit of foul trouble. LeBron Nash continues to struggle, and you can't have that, particularly on the road, with a team like Oklahoma who continues to get better. They're better in the last month. Oklahoma State is not as good as they were a month ago.
Well, we have a heck of a game brewing here in the Big 12 Network. Kansas, Marcus Relaford, they thought this would be an easy one. But Texas Tech hanging in there, down by 2 at the half.
Makes Big 12 men's basketball stand out? Nationally ranked teams every week since the league began in 1996. More consensus All-Americans than any conference the last 6 seasons. Leading the nation in NBA draft picks since 2008. The best winning percentage in NCAA play the past 5 years. That's why we're standing together for Big 12 men's basketball.
Today's Big 12 Network game is brought to you by Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. How about our Rookie of the Week, Marcus Smart? And he is a sensational talent, last week averaging 24 points a game. Congratulations to Marcus Smart, our Phillips 66 Rookie of the Week. How about number 1 Duke? Ryan Kelly out with that foot injury, and that's a big out for Duke because he does so many things well. Check out the Wolfpack at home, the lob to Rodney Purvis. And the big crowd going crazy. Would they storm the court? Coach K, he's been there many times before. Seth Curry down deep. That's where Brendan Manzer used to shoot it from, right?
Yeah, with a lot less talent than that young man. 5 threes on the day for Curry, and he kept Duke in the basketball game midway through the second half.
NC State really likes to run. They're a very athletic team. Rodney Purvis again makes it a 66-57 game, and then a 6-point cushion when Seth Curry goes down with a leg injury. Not sure how serious it is, but he did not return to the game. And C.J. Leslie then polishes it off. Michigan is the last of the unbeatens now as Duke goes down. And yes, they did storm the court in Raleigh, 84-76. Hey, Illinois, that's the other big loss in the top 25. Wisconsin steamrolled them today, 74-51. You check the other scores. Indiana beats Minnesota. And how about what's happening in Lexington, Brendan, down there in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yeah, A&M up 5 at halftime. A&M's inaugural game in the SEC midweek this week. Really plays well, beats Arkansas, Billy Kennedy's team. Put a good game and a half together. One more half to go.
We'll see if they can do that at Rupp Arena. Jordan Tolbert inside. Check that out. Over the Withy Wiper. Is only 2 points, but it was a big bucket. We'll be right back after this from your friends at Phillips 66.
prepared a statement. After careful consideration and with the support of my friends and family, I have decided to play Phillips 66 basket pong this year.
Basket Pong is back. Just fill up, grab a game card, and go online for a chance to shoot for 66 grand or hundreds of other prizes.
I know, right?
What'd you get?
Lewis is saving a few bucks.
Same here. Wendy's. So not the same. Going in.
Saving doesn't mean settling. Introducing Wendy's new right price, right size menu. Loaded with big tastes you can't get anywhere else. Starting at 99 cents. Enjoying what you eat and what you pay. That's Wendy's way.
Now that's better.
What a year for North Texas sports.
$16 million deal with Japanese ace Yu Darvish.
And the Fan Sports Show covered it all.
We are covering the Darren Williams decision. Hamilton hit 4 home runs in a game.
SMU 21, UNT 21, TCU 21, UTA 21.
Devastating weekend for the Dallas Cowboys. Josh Hamilton with the Angels.
All we have to say is, bring it 2013. Bring in the new year with the Fan Sports Show. Weeknights at 6:30. Must be 21.
As the name might suggest, Phillips 66 is the proud sponsor of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. Both start with Phillips 66 and both stand for performance. Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. Ben McLemore has 8 points for the Jayhawks. You know, they only had 5 field goals in the first half. They were 16 of 18 from the free throw line. They lead Tech by 2. And make plans for the Kansas City inaugural Big 12 5K Fun Run and Family Stroll. It's happening at the Big 12 Championship, brought to you by Phillips 66. March 16th, 9 a.m. I'll be there with Brendan and all the guys. Our classroom champion, brought to you by Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. How about Mason Cox, a walk-on big man for Oklahoma State, a senior mechanical engineering major, and very impressive what he's doing in the classroom. Dejan Kravich, very impressive on the floor for Texas Tech. 6 points, 5 rebounds, great tip. Red Raiders trail by 2.
As Chris Walker gives his team the final instructions, what he's telling them is, we have hope in this game, down only 2 to the 6th-ranked Jayhawks. With Rich Zavosik, I'm Dave Armstrong. Coach, that was an amazing and surprising first half as we check out our first half highlights brought to you by Shelter Insurance.
Tech made it a half-court game and then dominated the offensive glass. They get 8 second-chance points on 7 offensive rebounds, and it kept them in the game. And then they make 1-3 with Jamal Williams.
First half highlights brought to you by Shelter Insurance. Check out the numbers from the first half, brought to you by Papa John's. Look at all the turnovers in this game so far. And when you look at that line, I mean, bad shooting for both teams, but when you look at the turnover line, consider this. Tech has only 4 assists, the Jayhawks with only 2 assists. And the rebounding total, that's probably one that really grabbed the attention of Bill Self, and something that he was concerned about. Tempo in this game, it's got to favor what Texas Tech has wanted to do. And in the second half, Coach Self, he wants to impose his team's will on the Red Raiders.
Well, if the game is in the 50s or the low 60s, Texas Tech has an opportunity to win. If the game gets into the mid or higher 60s or above, it favors Kansas. Now, the key for Texas Tech is to continue to be patient on the offensive end and, more importantly, hit the offensive glass. Now, if you're Kansas, you got to try and turn up the pressure on the defensive end, but also be solid. You don't want to gamble while they give Texas Tech some easy opportunities.
Don Higgins huddles the officials after that discussion with Coach Self. Is there another upset in the making? Consider this. In 05, Tech knocked off 3rd-ranked Kansas. In 07, 11th-ranked Kansas. And just 4 years ago, in 09, they beat the 9th-ranked Jayhawks in that contest. They skipped It was like every other year until 2 years ago when the Jayhawks won again. Jayhawks won by 35 here a year ago. Come out of the play with a backdoor play. Immediately they go to Kravich out of the halftime, and Kravich will go to the line. The foul is on the Jayhawks.
Dave, we're watching this Texas Tech team grow up in front of our eyes. With each passing possession, they gain more confidence. And Kravich going hard to the glass, drawing the foul.
Foul was on Young, his second. Kravich, meanwhile, he's got 7 points in the contest. Withy grabs the rebound. 1 point contest from Lubbock, Texas. Jayhawks have played a couple of close games back-to-back against Temple, and then that overtime contest against Iowa State. And that was after they had a month of December where they were blowing teams out by an average of 23. Inside they go to Young.
Dave, quick halftime adjustment. Nobody in the high post. They go with a double low that time, and Young able to score on the block.
Little help by Withy out front. They push the ball down low. I don't know if Withy got a piece of that or what. A shot from Tolbert off no good, and the rebound goes out of bounds. It'll belong to KU.
Actually, as he came across, I think Withy caught his hand in the net going for the block. The ball was not on the rim, hence no goaltending.
Blocked away. Another turnover for KU. Young, Withy.
Gotta like the aggressiveness by Kevin Young. Don't settle for a jump shot. Try and get all the way to the rim. He draws help. Withy cleans up the miss.
Interesting. Jayhawks are going right at the rim in the second half. They're not settling for jumpers. Kravich, that's a tough shot. Doesn't go. Young's got the rebound.
Here's the danger, Dave, for Texas Tech. They score in their first couple of possessions, and then they start to be a little bit quicker on the offensive end. Quick shot by Kravich.
Young, that was wild. He got his own rebound. He knew where it was going to miss.
Shooter knows best. Follow your shot.
Advantage up to 5. This is where Tech really needs to slow it down again.
Just where the experience of Kansas on the defensive end should pay off. Don't gamble, play solid, and be methodical.
Relaford steps in the passing lane. Taking it right at Gray. Wow, what a move by Relaford. And a timeout for Chris Walker. A run here for the Jayhawks. And all of a sudden, Kansas getting a little more breathing room as Relaford comes flying down the court. And we're back after this. Back with more after this from your friends at Phillips 66. Well, let's take a look at today's Wendy's Wooden Watch. Ben McLemore, one of 25 guys now on the list for the coveted Wooden Award. Kid that does it all. He's averaging 16.9 points a game along with 5 rebounds. Great shooter, too, from the outside, can drive the ball. He really doesn't have many weaknesses. In this game, though, he has only taken 3 shots. He has 8 points, but 6 of those coming from the free throw line.
Dave, normally you don't see that type of efficiency in a freshman player, but he understands it. Now, there are sometimes he's got to assert himself a little bit more. and this may be the time.
Young trying to create some havoc in the backcourt. By the way, second half, we talked about rebounding in the first half. Kansas has out-rebounded the Red Raiders 5-0 in the second half so far.
Point of emphasis, halftime.
Oh, yeah. Tolbert. Little hook shot up over Withy, no. Make it 6-0, the rebound advantage for KU. Look at the double down on Withy. They look to get him the ball, but they can't because Withy's being doubled up. Now McLemore. He's 1 for 4 from the field so far.
Texas Tech taking a page out of Iowa State's defensive playbook. Sag off of Young. Don't allow Withy to catch the ball.
Crockett, the leading scorer for the Red Raiders, has not scored in this game. Shot clock is down to 7. Shot off no good. Withy's got the rebound. Here comes McLemore. Takes it right into the paint to Relaford to Young, who is fouled on the play. Good ball movement by KU, and we've got a timeout. The Jayhawks imposing their will so far in the second half and have upped the ante to a 7-point lead.
This season's been exciting, with thrills at every turn. The fans have been rewarded with free pizzas they have earned. But winning isn't over. Super Bowl will be the best. With Papa John's and Peyton, just wait to see what's next.
As the official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 47, Papa John's offers you a large one-topping pizza for only $10. Or choose any large, just $2 more. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
From Studio 66, the Sooners and Cowboys bedlam. Check out Buddy Hield, one of the freshman backcourt guys that Lon Kruger recruited up and under. They win 77-68. Dave, they're 2-0.
How about that? And the Cowboys dropped to 1-2 in Big 12 play. So big win for the Sooners at home in Bedlam. They join Kansas State and Baylor at the top at 2-0. Jayhawks trying to join them now with a 7-point advantage here on a 6-0 run by KU. United Spirit Arena in Lubbock, Texas, watching Ben McLemore doing most of his damage from the free throw line so far in this game. Jayhawks getting much better movement of the ball, and from a rebounding standpoint, they are just wiping the glass clean in the second half. Evan Young misses the first of 2. Young, a 60% free throw shooter on the year.
For Kansas to show a little token pressure on a make here.
Young gets his own rebound again. That's twice he's missed, and he knows exactly where that rebound is going to come to.
He's better on the second attempt.
So he gets 2 points, not the traditional way at the line. He gets them anyway. 8 straight points now by KU. Kravitz, Withy again was there to bother the shot. He didn't get a piece of it, but he sure bothered it. It caught a piece of the rim, so a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Amazing Crockett hasn't scored, isn't it?
Well, Crockett hasn't scored. Tolbert was in foul trouble in the first half, and they're still in the game. And now's the time they have to remain disciplined on the offensive end.
Now the shot clock under 10 again. Young really created havoc there. Ball tipped out. Here comes McLemore. The leader is Young. Wow! Timeout, Chris Walker.
30-second timeout.
Bill Self told us last night, Kevin Young, he recruited him because he's an energy guy who creates extra possessions. There's one on a missed free throw, and then after tremendous defense, he runs the floor and ignites the fast break.
Well, Kevin Young has been a real spark plug. Don't forget, coming up next week on the Big 12 Network, Iowa State at TCU, Oklahoma at Kansas State. I'll be in Manhattan along with you.
We'll be there
Coach.
together.
Yep. And,
two undefeated teams
yeah,
right
won't
now.
That be fun? Two teams that are starting off in great fashion in the Big 12 so far. And Kevin Young has begun this second half. He is the leading scorer now for KU with 10 points.
This is what makes Bill Self the best architect in college basketball. To take a guy like Kevin Young as a transfer and see how he fits into the puzzle makes him one of the best in the business.
Crockett really not even looking for his shot right now. Kravitz, Withy stays right with him and grabs the rebound. What a difference a half makes. Relaford aggressive, and he'll go to the line.
Number 2, Dusty Handis.
Relaford in transition, one of the best in the Big 12, draws the foul. What you didn't see is how Jeff Withy changed the shot on the other end and created this transition opportunity.
Relaford swishes home the first of two. Jeff Withy, he just, even when he doesn't touch the ball, he alters the shot.
There are a handful of guys in college basketball history who have had that ability. Jeff Withy would be in the top 5 along with Anthony Davis from a year ago, who can impact a game on the defensive end.
Last 5 minutes, the Jayhawks, a 12-0 run.
Kansas doing a much better job on help side defense. Nobody outside the paint unless you're guarding the basketball.
Shot clock down to 5. And Gray is fouled by Young. That's just the second team foul on KU this half, and the third on Young.
And for the Jayhawks, number 1, Nazir Tharp, number 34.
Gray sensed that mismatch and forced Young to use his hands to keep him in front.
Young will get a breather. Coach Self loves his energy, but there with under 5 on the shot clock, probably wished he'd have backed off just a hair because Gray almost had no shot at that point. Nadir Tharp also checks in. Gray loses the handle momentarily. Under 10 again on the shot clock. McLemore almost had a steal. Crockett, three-pointer no good, but tough rebound, and it will be Tolbert gathering it, and a fresh 35. This is the third possession in this one possession for the Red Raiders.
Well, Dave, long shots create long rebounds, and Withy got stuck underneath.
Tolbert gets it. Walker's got to love that. Finally, he says, we break through after a 12-0 run by the Jayhawks. An 11-point lead right now for KU, nearing the 12-minute mark. Relaford, high off the glass. There's Ellis. And a whistle and a foul underneath. Foul there called on Josh Gray. Not a shooting situation. And the third team foul on the Red Raiders this half. First one on Gray. Well, you look at the difference as far as rebounding is concerned, and we thought it might be this way. Kansas and Coach Self got their attention, saying, are you kidding me? We got out rebounded 16-8.
Well, rebounding is 90% desire.
Tolbert went down. Crowd wanted a clear-out foul on Withey. Nothing called, and Withey gets the easy layup. This is a danger zone right now for Tech. Withey. Tolbert. Whistle and a foul. And this one called against Perry Ellis. Well, Jordan Tolbert trying to keep the Red Raiders in the neighborhood, but Jayhawks are pulling away, leading by 13. As the name might suggest, Phillips 66, the proud sponsor of Phillips 66 Big 12 men's basketball. And both start with Phillips 66. Both stand for performance. Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. United Spirit Arena came alive in the first half when it was a two-point contest, but the Jayhawks pulling away here in the second half. 16-5 the second half in favor of KU. When you look at the Red Raiders, they're getting contributions from Jamal Williams, who has 11 points in this game, but nothing so far from Jay Crockett. And if the Red Raiders are going to get back in this game again, Jay Crockett has got to start doing some scoring. It'll be Tolbert going to the line for Texas Tech right now.
Shooting 2.
Tolbert, 59% free throw shooter, gets 2 here. Now, the coaches have had some discussions with our officials. Bill Self, you saw an animated discussion with John Higgins come out of the half, and now you see Chris Walker visiting with Terry Oglesby.
If I was to speculate, I would probably say that was a discussion about the call with Withey and Tolbert, or the non-call, I should say.
Tharp penetrating inside, back to Ellis, and he gets inside where it's blocked. Tolbert with a big block. Now ahead of the pass, handles the bounce pass and gets 2. Good hands by Tolbert.
In transition, they catch Kansas slow to get back.
Ellis, nice move, but he cannot convert. Boy, how many of those, is again, Coach Self calls them bunnies, has he missed this year?
Well, those are ones that, as a freshman, you know, you're going to grow up a little bit and understand that help side's there, and you'll make those because you'll make the transition to the college level. But in high school, you don't have that type of help side.
And the Red Raiders go back to their offense, where they slow things down, trying to reduce possessions in this game. Gray. And that won't go. Ellis has got it cleared, and boy, they had a major collision with Gray and Jamari Traylor. They're just now getting onto the offensive side of the ball. Johnson. Tharp, three-pointer. Yes, a long 3. Wow.
Credit that to the 2 seniors. Travis Relaford didn't push the play. He backs it out, and then Elijah Johnson with a nice drive and a dish.
Biggest lead of the game now for KU. They lob it inside to Tolbert. Nice pass from Crockett. And Tolbert coming to life here today. 8 points for Jordan Tolbert. Whistle and a foul on Ty Nurse. He got caught in traffic.
When the defensive man turns his head, all right, which is exactly what happens to Perry Ellis on that screen, you go to the rim as the screener. That's exactly what Tolbert did, and he gets rewarded with a dunk.
And Crockett able to find him. He was watching him slash to the basket, and Crockett with a perfect pass inside. Young's back in there, so is Withey. McLemore tries a 3 that won't go. He's been off from three-point range today, 0 for 3 from out there, after hitting 6 in a row against the Cyclones.
Dave, that was not a shot in rhythm for him.
He'll switch out top. Now they'll try to switch back. Kravich has to give it up. Nurse, 3 to shoot it. Long 3, got it, Josh Gray. Timeout, Jayhawks.
Coaching is the ability to reach your players. And on the broken play, they ran 30 plus and they get a wide open 3. Dave, it is very difficult when you are down double digits to stay disciplined on the offensive end. They do it and they get an open look with 2 seconds on the shot clock. This team has bought in to everything that Chris Walker is preaching right now.
They certainly have. Chris Walker is saying, you know, when you look at this team, it was fractured to begin with back in October. You guys know the story with Coach Gillespie and all of that. And then to come up with 8 wins so far. Now, consider this. They did not leave home. This was a team that started off the year playing home game after home game after home game. They've only played 1 game away from home all season, and in that one they beat TCU in Fort Worth.
Well, they broke that long Big 12 road losing streak with that win, and it gave them some confidence.
Inside, Withy's got it. Blocked by Kravich, but that's a foul on Dayon Kravich, and that'll be his 3rd. Now we've got a timeout on the court. Texas Tech trying to fight back and make a game of it. Back after this from Phillips 66.
So we all set?
I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Pack your bags, we'll leave tonight.
It's next month, actually.
Paradise.
No, 4, remember?
You know, Ronnie, folks who save hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico sure are happy. And how happy are they, Jimmy? Happier than Eddie Money running a travel agency.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
From Studio 66, former Big 12 member Texas A&M looking for the upset at Rupp Arena. Elston Turner, the big man not known for the outside shot, steps back, knocks it down. Cats lead by 4, just under 6 minutes to play, Dave.
All right, interesting action there for Texas A&M and Kentucky here. Texas Tech trying to stay in the same neighborhood with the Kansas Jayhawks. And Bill Self upset with his team's play in the first half where they led by just 2 at halftime and were out-rebounded 16-8. Jayhawks came out with more energy to start the second half, but of late they've allowed the Red Raiders to kind of inch their way back in. It'll be Jeff Withy going to the line. Jayhawks, to a large degree, have kept their lead because of their work on the line in this game.
Dave, championship level teams find different ways to win on any given night. Tonight, it's been Kansas at the foul line making free throws, although I jinxed them on that one.
Tolbert grabs that rebound. Yeah, the Jayhawks in this game are 19 of 24 from the line. They've outscored the Red Raiders by 12 at the free throw line, and they have a 10-point advantage. Williams, he knifes his way into the lane and then throws up a brick. Here comes Tharp. To McLemore. Tharp did a very unselfish thing there. And a foul by Tharp. Trying to defend Gray, the first foul on Tharp.
You're taught as a point guard, draw the defense, make the defender commit, and then make the decision. He draws the defender, and he gives it off to Macklemore for the easy dunk.
Tharp has been amazing of late. In his last 6 games, 23 assists, only 3 turnovers.
One of the question marks with Kansas as they came into this year is where would they get their backcourt depth? Nadir Tharp, last year, a non-factor. This year has been a steadying influence ever since that Colorado game where he started to gain that confidence.
You'd have to say overall they followed Coach Walker's plan to a T in terms of taking time off the shot clock. Young's got that rebound and a fadeaway shot from Gray that won't go. But again, the shot clock was under 10 when they took it.
This is a team, win or lose today, will gain valuable experience and confidence in themselves because they've seen this works against the best team in the conference.
What didn't work is what happened to them in Waco earlier in the week when they were blown out by the Bears, 82-48. Excuse me, that was a home game, I should say, not in Waco. Oh my, a prayer thrown up for Tharp with the shot clock going to 0.
Sometimes it pays to be more lucky than good.
Three-pointer rattles home for Hannes. He's their best three-point shooter, and first time he's gotten free today. And that's his first bucket of the game. Today's Big 12 Network game has been brought to you by Phillips 66, experts in gas since 1927. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By the new Buick Enclave, it's smart made beautiful. By the Capital One Cash Rewards Card with a 50% annual bonus. What's in your wallet? And by Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. With Coach Z, Rich Zavosik, I'm Dave Armstrong in Lubbock, Texas, where Nadir Tharp all of a sudden looks up and realizes, uh-oh, there's 1 on the shot clock. I better put it up. And it goes right through.
And he just raises his hand looking at the bench. Coach Self was one of those, no, good shot, good shot.
Had to take it. There was 1 on the shot clock. 12-point Jayhawk lead, running the weave out top. Rutherford almost lost the handle. Shot clock at 5. Johnson, tough shot. That's 2 tough shots in a row for KU with the shot clock winding down to 1.
Dave, but there was no panic on that possession. Everybody understood that there was still time, and Elijah Johnson with the circus shot.
Young ahead of the pack. And the lead is 16, the biggest of the game for KU. Jayhawks closing in on delivering a knockout punch. And this could be it. Relaford make it an 18-point lead. When you look at the difference a half makes, and look at the scoring for KU.
Kansas only shooting 27% in the first half. Was heated up here in the second half.
A lot of that due, as you see this run, due to their good rebounding this half. Crockett. And that won't go. Fight for the rebound. Kravitz just out hustling Withy in the corner. Hannes. Nope. And there's Macklemore with a rebound. Still amazed that Jay Crockett, who leads this team in scoring with almost 15 a game, has 0 points in the contest. McLemore pulls up for three. No one came out to get him, and that was halfway down and back out again. Kravitz, nifty move.
Very good move. This is Kansas experience right now. They understand their opponent is not Texas Tech. It's time score situation. Dunk.
That was an absolute perfect possession. That is experience. That is talent. That is everything you'd want at this point in the game.
They run shot clock. They move the ball. And then Elijah Johnson, the senior, pulls the defense on penetration, and Young finishes it off.
Back to an 18-point advantage with only 2:37 remaining. Jayhawks well on their way to a 2-0 start. And for them, their 13th straight win this year.
Dave, we talk about Bill Self as just a great tactician, an architect. He has won 8 straight championships with all different kinds of teams.
Absolutely.
Some of them have been high school players. Some of them have been transfers. Some of them have been 4-year players. When you look at other programs, Kentucky, for example, take all freshmen, 1 year and done guys. Duke, all freshmen. Don't take transfers. No junior college kids. Bill Self has been able to do it with all types of players. And that's what, in my mind, makes him the best coach, best architect in college basketball today.
I can only say this. You wish you were as good at your job as Bill Self is at his.
The bottom line is, if he was in business, in management, if he was in a different profession, he would still be very successful.
He'd be one of the top CEOs in the country, right?
He has all the skill set needed.
Crockett still can't find the range today. Boy, tough day for Jay Crockett. In this game, 0 for 7 from the field. Again, Jayhawks comfortable now to whittle down the shot clock themselves. McLemore. And he'll go to the line as Crockett smothered him. And we've got a timeout with 1:39 remaining. The Jayhawks show their dominance in the second half, pulling away from the Red Raiders. Well, you look at the Jayhawks with an 18-point lead with 4 in double figures for the 9th time in the last 10 games. One of the guys not in double figures at all is Jay Crockett, scoreless tonight, but still one of the top 6 men in the country, if not the top 6th man, brought to you by Motel 6.
Well, as you look at it, you've got 2 guys out of the Big 12 who are the best at coming off the bench and igniting their team. Both Jay Crockett, who, as you mentioned, struggled here tonight. Tyrus McGee at Iowa State, averaging over 13 points a game off the bench as well.
One of those nights for Jay Crockett, though, for 7 from the field in this contest. Now McLemore going to the line. Ben McLemore coming off that 33-point performance. Just 2 for 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3-point range, and rarely missing a free throw, and he does here. He's 6 of 7 from the line. Missed them both. The lead stays at 18. Rio Adams is checked in for KU. So too is Justin Wesley, and a whistle and a foul. That went on Adams. That's the 6th team foul on KU, so Tech still not in the bonus.
Dave, even though Texas Tech did not win this game today, they have made strides as a team. How you handle adversity. Baylor took it to them, and they bounced back and played exactly how Coach Walker wanted him to do. That, to me, is a sign of a guy who has his team still believing not only in him, but themselves as well. They're going to catch somebody here as we go down the rest of the conference season.
There's no one on the planet outside of perhaps that locker room here in Lubbock that thought the Red Raiders even had a prayer in this contest. And they had a 2-point game at the half, and then Kansas just pulled away methodically in the second half. But Chris Walker, this is a game you can build on.
Well, as we watch them in their pregame shoot-around, and he gathers his players around in a circle, and he talked about your thoughts will be proven out by your actions in the game today. If you believe in what I am telling you to do, your actions will show it. They stayed disciplined on the offensive end. Yes, they turned the ball over. They didn't make as many shots, but they still stuck to their game plan, and they held their own for about 30 minutes before Kansas just overpowered them.
Tharp carried it. That's a turnover. A little sloppy play in the closing seconds. Coach Self doesn't like that carry call because really it did not give the defense an advantage. Usually you'd only get that call when it gives one team or the other, the offensive player, the advantage. And it didn't really give Nadir Tharp an advantage on that particular play.
Situation, you come down to the end of the game, you've only turned it over 8 times. You're trying to keep it in single digits and not get sloppy. You have to make sure that everybody plays to the final horn.
Hannah's no. Trailers got the rebound. Shot clock is turned off. KU can just hold the ball. And the Jayhawks will go to 14-1 on the year with their 13th straight victory, 2-0 in conference play. The Red Raiders go to 8-6 and 1-2 in the Big 12. Not as easy as a lot of folks suspected for the Jayhawks, but the second half they came out and they played really good in the first 18 minutes of the second half.
Well, winning on the road is never easy in any conference, certainly not in the Big 12. So to come in here on the road against an inspired Texas Tech team after an emotional win on Wednesday, they shook off the rust in the first half and turned up the intensity in the second.
Once again, our final score, the Jayhawks win it going away 60-46. For Rich Zavosik and our entire Big 12 crew, I'm Dave Armstrong. Join us Saturday, 12:30 for Studio 66 with Doug Bell and Brendan Manzer. For more information on the Big 12 Network, log on to ESPNplus.com. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports.